When legal aid is required, what you need most is someone you can trust, as we find out in this next story.
With job security and economic stability at unprecedented lows, there's never been a more important time for workers to have the necessary protections needed in the event of a workplace injury.
I worked in the airline industry since 1984, loading, unloaded aircraft, lifting, pushing, pulling, cargo, mail, suitcases. Took a toll on my body. The scariest injury I had was a slip and fall due to de-icing fluid on a piece of equipment. I had 12 surgeries, hand surgeries, which took like 6-7 weeks, 8 weeks to recover from. Then I had shoulder surgeries, back surgeries, neck surgeries, 3 discs replaced in my neck, many epidurals in my back to alleviate the pain.
With 65 years of experience successfully helping the hard-working men and women of New York and Long Island through the toughest of legal challenges, McIntyre, Donohue, Accardi, Salmonson, and Riordan, LLP, MDASR for short, is a law firm that specializes in cases dealing with workmen's compensation, Social Security disability, and much more.
It's pure and simple. We've stayed in business 65 years representing injured workers because we treat them like we would our family members. We listen to their stories with a great deal of compassion and care, and we formulate a plan in order to enable them to work through their problems and get back to work as soon as possible. People get an idea as to when you're really trying to help them. And once that light goes on and you can see that you're going to be able to work together and you can see that they're happy with the plan that you're putting together and that you can really help them, it's just the greatest feeling in the world. I don't know how else to describe it.
I heard of Scott through work. I was at work one day and I saw that he was sincere, a very honest person, and he cared a lot about the employees and what he was doing. So I approached him and I asked him a few questions. I was very happy with his answers. Right away, I just turned up my cases over to him, and from then on, any other injury that occurred or whatever, I just called them.
We try to help our clients from the moment they walk in the door in any capacity possible. We then sit down and we take a look at what's going on with them. If it may be a more minor injury, we may start with referring them to doctors that are familiar with the New York State workers' compensation system, that are familiar with the paperwork, because getting the paperwork right will expedite treatment and care. It's been my experience in my 20 years doing this and our 65 years in practice that people with attorneys tend to do better than those without attorneys. Insurance companies are going to have attorneys representing their interests. Like it or not, clients do better when they have an attorney representing their interests on their side. We know what the law is. We know what our abilities to get settlements and litigate cases if need be, and we can fully explain that to the client. The client at the end of the day is our boss. The client is going to make the calls. But our job is to provide them with information. We give them information so that they can make decisions. With our help, we'll give them an idea as to what we've seen in court, what the judges are likely to do, what kind of obstacles they're up against. But it's our job to kind of help them know when it's time to push in terms of litigation and when a judge might not be so favorable to their case and settlement might be more appropriate.
My financial situation was hard, but with the help of Scott and his firm, I was able to survive.
The vast majority of our clients do go back to work, so people shouldn't be afraid that if they consult with us as attorneys that they're not going to be able to return to work. Sometimes, unfortunately, a certain percentage of these injuries become career-ending. And when that happens, we can help out with other services like Social Security disability, sometimes disability retirement. Certain unions and certain jobs will allow people to collect a heightened pension if they have to retire in part due to the injury.
Finally, after my last surgeries, talking to Scott under his advice and the advice of my doctors, I decided to finally retire and put in for permanent disability. As far as my cases, with his help and the help of this firm, I was able to be compensated for the right damages that I suffered.
People are often confused. They're often scared when they get hurt on the job. They don't know which way to turn. Many times people are afraid that attorneys can be intimidating. They're afraid that they can't afford an attorney. In terms of attorney's fees, our firm in the entire industry only gets paid on the cases if we're able to get people money or financial benefits in court. Come in, tell us your story. With 65 years worth of experience and offices in Nassau, Suffolk, Brooklyn, the Bronx, Manhattan, and Westchester, and and 19 attorneys and the balance of the support staff to go along with that, we have more than ample skills to be able to help our clients resolve their issues with regard to these cases.
For more information and to contact McIntyre, Donohue, Accardi, Salmonson, and Riordan, LLP, visit icomplaw.com or just check out our website, thebalancingact.com.